Everything's right beyond this wall. Our help is right out there. But a lot of us love staying here and rather not leave because we don't have that responsibility in everyday life and, work and so forth. We just like it here,
In the summer of 2018, Minneapolis suddenly became the latest American city famous for its homelessness. A gathering of 300 people took the city by storm and added a new angle on this country's homelessness saga. Almost all the camp residents were of the area Native American tribes. I began visiting this camp to learn the stories of those who called it home. What brought them here? What was life like here? And what kinds of hopes and dreams did these residents have beyond this camp? I wanted to reveal the humanity behind this largely faceless crisis, to document this particular episode of this nationwide problem, and to learn why it exists, and perhaps what might be done to best address it. The following is a story of this camp known as The Wall, and it's a collection of the stories of those living and dying here.
You said you were one of the original members of this camp?
Mm-hmm. So one day we walked by here and we seen this little old lady camped out here. Then through time and days go by, people seen us and they were in the same predicament.
When's the last time you had a home of your own?
I can't remember. Eventually, it just started growing. We just started growing.
The Minneapolis Police Department has a liaison that has been on scene here in South Minneapolis, handing out food and water.
Once the city okayed just the very first small group that was here, the rest came because it feels good to be together.
The city's brought in restrooms, hand-washing stations, and garbage cans.
Housing is a right. It should be a right for everyone, and the city is moving forward in a very aggressive fashion.
There's people out here that have houses. They think that if you come out here and have a tent, put up a tent, that they're going to give housing for free.
In a matter of weeks, the encampment along Hiawatha Avenue has quadrupled.
Drug trafficking has risen, and disease associated with exposure to hazardous materials has also spiked.
I just need some help. I have a job. I just need some help. Please.
So how did you find your way here?
I seen all these tents.
Most of the 120 people living there are Native American, and each has their own story.
We are hopeful that we can get to the point where we can end the encampment by the end of September.
I've done this, I've beaten it. What brings me back here is the energy, the support, the feeling of being loved and needed and wanted.
That's what brings you back to the streets?
Not necessarily the streets. More or less these little camps like this.
Yeah. Do you not feel accepted out there?
No, I don't. I feel that I am judged. This is an eyesore. We're an eyesore. And they are judging us. Sometimes we have honks. I wonder what they're thinking, Will they help us? Will they try to help us? Okay, this is the sergeant here. He's a very good guy. He goes out, makes sure that we are hydrated. We got water, we got ice, he gives us donuts.
Hey, you guys, seriously, you know what? I don't have any lunch meat, but if you want these, I'll leave them up there by your tent. Save me one, okay? And make me a sandwich, and I'll come up and eat it with you later.
I will. It saddens me when I see families out here with their children out here. It makes me think of my kids and the responsibilities that I'm supposed to be doing as a parent, and practically me judging myself.
I was evicted because I was in the studio and I was going to have my grandson and granddaughter live with me, but I just started having conflict with the management, so I just gave up. And when they filed for eviction, I just said, no, I'll move out.
I would stay in that Little Earth housing with my son. But you can only have a guest there 3 weeks. And so my time was up. I couldn't stay there any longer than 3 weeks. I really honestly can't remember the last time I rented a home. 10, 12 years ago maybe. I had gotten a Section 8 home for $24 a month, all utilities, everything included.
Why did you leave a home of your own?
Up in Duluth because my family's down here. They want to be around my grandbabies. They want to be in their lives.
I have an 8-year-old granddaughter to take care of because my daughter passed away a couple years ago. I had to send her from here, so it's broken up my family. And she probably hates me right now. There's no place for a child.
Where does your granddaughter live?
She's with her dad, who she don't barely know, and she didn't want to go, and she didn't want to go.
I live with my mom. And see, that's what's talking about broken homes, because that's how a lot of people end up here in the first place.
Yeah.
It's because of the broken home. We don't really have a relationship, so I left. Because she brought the cops in, and she got a restraining order on me.
I grew up in the biggest mentally disabled handicap home in the state of Minnesota. 14 kids. I know what type of feeling is in life. I've been around abusive. I've seen practically everything. Sexually molested, all that.
I need a home for my children. They're waiting right now for me to find a home. 2 I take care of right now. 4 of them got adopted out. They live in Florida right now. Who I stay in contact with. I have 4 sons down there.
Yeah.
But I have my 15-year-old and then my 20-year-old daughter who has cerebral palsy, who depends on me.
Do you ever stay outside in the winter?
Yeah.
Wow, even when it's very, very cold.
Yeah. I guess that's where I gotta figure something out. Otherwise, I just bounce around. Or build a fire and have a closed-in area.
What stops you from going to a shelter?
From going to a shelter, nothing stops me from going to the shelter, but the shelter, they kick you out at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, so what's the difference? And early morning is when it gets the coldest. I mean, and not only that, you're around people right in the open, you smell them, listen to them fart, argue, fight. I like to have my quietness or my separation.
I see.
I'm on disability, I can't work. So it's like, okay, I can't find no affordable housing because it was subsidy where I live. So to find affordable housing, it's hard for me because I get like $11.20 a month.
I was a roofing contractor for 22 years when I was younger. And so I have a Indian business certificate.
Were there some years where you made pretty good money?
Oh yes. I even did Mystic Lake roofs.
Oh.
The last 2 years I grossed $267,000 and $248,000. But I ended up folding my company because the husband it just didn't work out back then. The husband was an alcoholic and very abusive. And so I ended up shutting the business down.
What happened to the money that you made?
It went to family members. I helped family members with if they were behind on their rent, or if they needed a car, if they needed this or that.
I see.
A lot of it went to family members.
I see.
And my children.
Do you have any savings anymore?
No, of course not. That was many years ago.
I was working, but I got fired. And then I started using IV drugs. This is like more of a community than Little Earth is. We actually, we're like bonding over drug use, but at least we're not alone and we're around each other. And we know that, we got Narcan. It could be be open with our addiction.
It's like shooting heroin?
No, not heroin. Because, yeah. I mean, meth is just bad, but it won't take you right then and there.
Right. So you were shooting meth? Yeah. Do you still do that?
Yeah.
Did you do it today? I wouldn't have guessed.
Yeah, well, I'm like withdrawing now at this point.
Does that feel lousy?
No, because it smells weed.
How many of the people that live here do you think are addicted to something?
Less than a quarter are addicted. Not everybody that's homeless is a junkie or a drunk. And so we put out the needles for people. We got the Narcan for people, first aid kit, the sharps for people, condoms for people. And then the other one over here is to represent the Native people. Red, yellow, black, and white are the 4 colors of people, and it also stands for the 4 directions. The sage is to chase away the negative, and the cedar is to bring in the good.
KARE 11 News at 5.
Leaders stepped up efforts to bring much-needed medical attention to those camps.
Many of these homeless battle mental health and addiction. Proof is this container collected just yesterday of used needles.
Critical efforts to provide food, clean restrooms, and even a hygiene center have helped, but also created misconceptions.
Yes, people have, left housing to come here thinking that there would be a quicker avenue to get someplace, which is not true.
Less than 30 days, 25 days, every 104 tents are supposed to be gone out of here. That's a lot of people, and it's growing every day. And they really can't stop them because they know that they ain't got no rules or nothing to abide by, and that they're going to get fed and so forth. My wife got an apartment, got accepted for an apartment.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, she did.
Oh, okay.
Don't know when, but she has.
Will you live there too?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So you got a home?
Yeah, well, I'm trying to get one too myself here. In case if hers don't go through, mine will go through, vice versa.
Oh, okay. So that sounds like really good news.
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to leaving here?
Yes, I am. Again, it's us 2 and 6 kids. Fortunately, they're up north there with family until we can get our foot in the door down here.
When do you expect to move into your new place?
Hopefully in the next week or 2. I'm just waiting for a lady to come for her to go sign papers and so forth. And I'm ready to start a new life.
Are you gonna live?
Yep. What's it going? See, that's the kind of day I don't want to have. That's the kind of day I want to have.
Basically, I think majority of the reason why we're out here is because we chose a different path than the path that God's given us. Not everybody has the same, vision as I do, and mine is I want to get out of here. Beyond that wall, I want to go home. But I can't get home if I'm just going to stay in my tent all damn day and go try to hustle whatever I can by stealing and going and dealing drugs and doing everything that's not okay. This is about giving back to the community. Uncle brought it for us, well, we're sharing it. Girl, everybody's gonna come here and think that the guys know stuff are You gotta jump. It's not gonna be handed to you.
Yeah.
Just an opportunity.
So when it comes to these housing, when it comes to this opportunity of housing, everything, what is everybody doing?
First you complain about...
Complain, but what are you doing? Nothing. To help yourself.
Other conditions, but yet you still continue to do the same action.
Thank you.
To be honest with you, let's just call it what it is. You can look around you and kind of pinpoint the people who really gave up on their life, and the ones who still have hope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like us.
Yeah.
weather that's the most hardest. Is the weather when it gets too hot or it's too rainy and too wet.
Not a life for anybody.
But this is how us natives always seem to come together. We all take care of one another some way or another. Not knowing that we are, it just happens that way. It's been that way since we had tribes, I guess.
I suppose that's why we always call each other cousins. We're just a family.
Sisters and brothers.
Do you get money from Leech Lake?
Once a year we get Christmas money. $300 a year for Christmas.
That's what they do in Red Lake too, I think.
Yeah, Red Lake gets a little bit more than we do.
It depends on the revenue, you know.
Yeah.
What the casinos make, you know.
People think that
because Mystic gets all this money.
Yeah, that
they
other...
think that we get it. No, we don't. But it's not like they're being stingy with their money, because if you put in for grants for this or that, they'll help you. They will help people.
I'm upset because the government doesn't understand that they want to give other races money.
Well, they're not doing anything to help us. Then they're talking about, well, we'll be down in assessment. No, we're tired of assessments. People get tired of telling their stories and nothing happens, you know. And the mayor got a little upset. In fact, he left, talking about, well, it's going to take a while. We don't have the monies and the resources. And it's like, we don't need you. Look at this man. I don't know what he's passing out. Would he come down here and tell me he wouldn't volunteer to help build some housing, rehab some? If it's a place that needed supervision, we can do that. We can do that as humans.
This is the cook right here, Kelly Potter.
Hi.
Her and her teammate.
This is my daughter. She's a helper.
Yep, she's a helper. Yep.
Hello.
We got a group here from Duluth. They came up here all the way from Duluth, Minnesota to donate water, and they're out right now distributing donations for just basic stuff in the camp. Soap, shampoo, tarps, keep yourself dry, Rubbermaid bins.
We're here today with Natives Against Terror.
How did you hear about this opportunity to help?
I work often with Natives Against Heroin and try to come out when I can.
All right.
To help.
Did all of you ladies come together?
No, these gals came with the church, right?
Does that intimidate you, coming to talk to homeless people?
I don't think so, no.
Were you nervous?
I just treat them like normal people, just like having a regular conversation, very casual.
You have experience doing that before?
Not really, no.
Okay, you're just a natural.
Yeah. She goes out with me.
Still the same, you got your ups and downs.
Are you eager to leave?
Yes, I am, very much, very much. Getting a little tired of this, restless. People are up all night long, they don't sleep. It's very hard, very hard.
Well, you talked about... Hi. I'm good.
Yeah, I'll give it some.
You want to?
Yep.
So what group are you from?
I'm just doing it for Jesus.
Have you heard anything new about housing?
Matter of fact, we're making phone calls at this moment right now. And we should be hearing something here later on this afternoon, or for sure by tomorrow morning.
City leaders are pushing back their timeline for relocating a homeless camp. The city now says it will be mid-October before they have a solution.
On Thursday, the City Council will consider two sites for relocating the camp. One is a vacant lot at 26 in Minnehaha next to Aurora Charter School. The other is a former Roof Depot warehouse at 28th and Longfellow.
26-year-old Alyssa Skipintheday died Saturday near the entrance to the camp after she had an asthma attack. Her cousin told us she didn't have her inhaler.
Yeah, 2 nights ago we had to take her off life support. She had really bad asthma that she was dealing with in the camp here. And I'm not sure what happened that night though. I'm pretty sure that she didn't have her inhaler at the time. She ended up going in a coma and she suffered She ended up becoming brain dead, so the family had to turn her off like about 2 days ago.
As far as you know, it was just an asthma attack that killed
well,
her?
she was struggling with using, but it was her asthma attack. I saved her a couple of times out here. It's a problem that we work with daily, you know, because I'm a peer recovery outreach worker through the Native American Community Clinic. I work alongside James with Natives Against Heroin also.
The group Natives Against Heroin is working around the clock in the middle of all the tents, assisting with medical needs, distributing water and food, and trying to provide security.
We push out the dope dealers as much as we can to confront them because we say we don't want you here.
I used to be homeless myself, actually, like about pretty much 10 years straight. You know, I ended up getting a place of my own about a month and a half ago. A GRH-funded program. Once I went recovery, you know, it's been a wonderful life ever since. That's why I'm out there trying to give people hope like that. I'm trying to give my cousin hope, be there for support here. The thing that got me to do my Road 25 is I wanted to live, you know. So I made it a point to get over there on my free will. I'm not on probation. I'm not on parole. I want to be there because I want to live. I don't want to get in that spot where I felt worthless. Had a lot of shame and guilt from using. And you know, I'm very spiritual now. I can touch the sage and stuff like that. When you're using, you can't touch that stuff out of respect for our native culture. So when I was using, I couldn't even stay clean enough to even touch that stuff. So that kept me away from my spirituality side. So, you know, it just...
So the...
Oh, look at them. Where'd they drop?
She might hurt him. Get this down pat.
James, come on.
You were provided a path to treatment and then housing.
Yeah, because I went to a homeless shelter with a case manager, and I let these people know you can do the same thing.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yes, yeah.
So is that path available to anyone here?
Yeah, it's just you gotta work the program, you know.
How many would you say you've gotten to turn your life around or start the process?
Ever since I got back since May, I got over 20 people, not only in this camp, but on the street even. I think that's where my heart is in the community.
Mm-hmm.
I think whenever we're in a struggle out here, living that life, and when we turn our life over to recovery and start walking the red road, that positive road, there's a place in the community for us, you know. It's a different spot and for everybody in the community as far as giving back and helping our people. A lot of times in the community, people don't talk to them when they're walking the streets with their backpacks, with their head down, feeling hopeless. You know, we talk to them. They all got dreams of having their own place, you know, getting their kids back, whether it be, you know, getting their significant other back or getting a job, all that stuff, you know.
In late July, there were 25 people living in tents. A month later, closer to 160. Today, about 300 people are crowded into the spot.
Thursday night, the council voted to point its staff in the direction of building the navigation center on the city-owned property at 2600 Minnehaha Avenue. That decision brought dozens of Aurora Charter School employees to protest since 2600 Minnehaha sits directly next to where the children play.
I'm afraid for the kids. My kid goes there. They came out of their neighborhood into our building to get away from it, and now we're going to have to look across the street and see it. It's not fair to them.
Shortly after the council meeting this afternoon, Mayor Fry says he toured another site on Cedar Avenue that belongs to the Red Lake Nation. He says that too could potentially be a site for consideration next week.
Tribal is telling us that they're backing a new move from Red Lake, which is the buildings over there.
Okay.
Where Red Lake was going to build their housing development program. It's great to see the tribals coming because we got 17 different tribes down here.
Yeah.
If not more.
Yeah.
Right? So it's good to see that they're stepping in and understanding that they have to do that. They have to really concentrate on what their power is and push more help out here.
Overall, how do you feel about the progress that's being made?
The progress is slow, but I mean, what happens fast in Minnesota, right? As you see, it's cold out here today, but we're survivors. I think that people are really seeing that we need to move faster. And what was happening at the county level was a snail pace, because they were worrying about money instead of lives over politics.
So what's the hope moving forward?
The hope is that we get a building soon, but October 31st, we know that ain't realistic, because look how many people are here. The transfer of taking each individual over there with their belongings is going to be a process.
How does it make you feel being in the organization that you're in, and then you see people that are using right here?
Well, it's hard, but we see as Native Against Air, and we always say we will meet the relatives where they're at.
Okay.
And embrace them and let them know that, yeah, we care. You ain't alone. And we try to hold their hands and bring them to the resources that we have to help them rise in their life.
The city of Minneapolis is officially working with the Red Lake Band of Chippewa Indians to relocate a homeless encampment.
The Red Lake Nation is offering up a 1.5-acre parcel of land just east of the encampment near 2109 Cedar Avenue South. The current buildings need to be remediated, then torn down to make way for a temporary navigation center and housing. Red Lake believes if permits are issued quickly, it will take 6 weeks to get the site ready.
Fighting daily, there's stealing, there's robbing tents, there's chaos, just total chaos up here. One night there was a guy with a gun waving it around. You've seen it. Cops are here within minutes. I don't blame that. As in fighting, there was a little ride of 5 to 6 people. There was 10 squads pulled out. Now it's getting colder. The temperature last night was in the 40s. This rain, it's freezing, almost freezing rain. We are basically we're just waiting on, she's got an interview here tomorrow.
If your wife gets accepted into a place, you guys will go move there on your own?
Yes. It's just a matter of us getting a truck, a U-Haul truck, renting a truck.
So how do you spend your days while you're waiting?
Thinking and cleaning, Basically cleaning up other people's mess up to my neck with all this, and I'm just ready about to call it quits and throw in the towel. But that's the easy way out. Quit all of this and head back north.
What would you do up there?
Nothing. Basically nothing. I'm very emotional wreck right now. A lot of thinking of my children, my future. Being here has basically made me do a lot of thinking in life. What needs to be done and my priorities. There's more ODs up here. There's been 2 deaths, and it's just getting out of control, basically.
Are you going to do some kind of treatment as well? You and maybe your wife?
Yeah, some kind of treatment to get on a Suboxone program or methadone treatment.
Well, what do you think's the next thing you should do to help your situation and to help ease your mind?
Basically, I don't know. Wish, right? Wish, basically.
What are you wishing for?
Happiness. Wealth.
most of these people are self-medicated. You got to heal that hurt before you can get them to clean up. A lot of people in our society don't believe that they belong in actual society. They're not good enough. They're not smart enough. They're not white enough. They're not, whatever. These young ladies around here, some of them are embarrassed when I find out like they're working a block, prostitution, whatever. And I go, you don't have to be embarrassed. I say, I worry about you, But I know that you will be the queen you're meant to be. And I tell them that. They hug me, they cry. I say, I know you will end up being the queen you're meant to be. So, but that I worry about you. And nobody tells them that.
Well, what's your plan from here?
I don't know, I'm just gonna wait, because I already did Rule 25. I really want to be sober, like, it's just that shit is hard.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to fucking be sober at the same time, but you need to be, because if you don't, eventually you'll die, or you keep cutting years off your life. And I still got things to do, because I ain't that shit with my life.
What do you hope to do?
I wanted to be, I'm going to be a medicine woman. I just have to be completely sober. But that's going to be a journey. But I got my whole life.
Do you see a path out of homelessness for yourself? Or do you think this is something you're kind of going to have to deal with for a long time?
I'm originally from Shakopee.
Yeah?
I'm a Dakota Sioux from Mystic Lake. That's my tribe. That's Mystic Lake's symbol.
Why have you been homeless for 2 years if you have that money waiting for you?
Because only me and my creator will know when my time is right. I had that money before from 18 to 35. I'm partying it up, gave money out, gave clothes off my back.
But you don't get any of that money now.
No.
Yeah.
But I will get my back paid. And then I'm going to get deeply involved in the community. See, here in Minneapolis, starting a boxing organization, Discipline. It's going to be called Thunder of the Red Nations.
I figure by the time I'm 60 or 65, I'll be ready to settle down up on the reservation. Then I'm going to start a business up there. But I got plans. I just want to try to get into housing so I can enjoy my grandbabies and get to know them.
I really like this little plan in my head. I've been talking about it for maybe a year now. I just seem to never be able to actually step in that direction. It's kind of like I'm aiming that way, but I keep dropping the ball. I actually want to be an electrician. I want to go get certified as an electrician in that trade.
A lot of us are depressed because of our traumatizing lifestyles when we were younger. And now that we're adults, I guess we weren't taught how to cope with all that. We're finding our own ways how.
It's hard for others to accept some of the things that happen to us. I believe that there's a time in our life that we gotta just put everything and just let it go. Just hey man, you know what? It was what it was, now it ain't no more. It's a dust, it's air, it's nothing. It's what I have to deal with, this is what's going on. It's me and my belonging today. I don't think of today. I don't think of yesterday. I think of today.
But I saved up enough now, so hopefully by next month I'll have enough to find one. But I've been working and saving enough money so we can pay down deposit on a place. And my son's been working with me, so.
Friends say the 51-year-old grandmother died of a suspected overdose this weekend.
All the drug dealers are gone from here from now on.
After her death, Natives Against Heroin posted their own video on Facebook showing them kicking out a couple of suspected heroin dealers.
And the plan is to get those folks in the encampment across the street to a new shelter that's currently being renovated called the Navigation Center. The city hopes to do that by November or December.
Deputy County Administrator Jennifer DeCubelis said moving the homeless to a temporary navigation center beginning in December will make them safe from the elements and provide an environment free of drugs, as it will be supervised.
I said, they're homeless just like us. Only I wish somebody could be as easy, come with nothing but the hairs on my back and come get all the food and drinks and have nothing to give back, but still be accepted.
Are you saying like a company or an employer wouldn't accept you for who you are?
Yeah, due to judgment.
What's the last job you had?
When's the last job I had?
Yeah.
I was PCA for 4 people because I love to take care of others.
Okay.
And especially with special needs. I had that job for about 4 or 5 years. And then just kind of like when I met Earl, I really didn't have to work. You know, swept off my feet. I didn't have to work. I didn't have to worry about nothing. I didn't have to do nothing.
Because he had a lot of income?
Yep. He had a job. He had an income. He had, we had a house. He had a house. His mom had the house. So basically, you might as well say I was that cat that walked through the door. The first 3 years, I'd say, it was living in paradise. And then after that, things started getting rough. Because she had to move, she had to give her foreclose her house. So then she had to relocate up north. We ended up getting our own place.
Yeah.
Start paying full rent. And that was just kind of hectic because we weren't prepared for it. I wasn't prepared for it. With 2 kids, pregnant with another. And when you deal with another mental problem, being depressed, and when I get depressed, it's from childhood, growing up.
I didn't know nothing of it.
It's like I basically shut down.
But you did a job you enjoyed, the caretaking.
Yep.
Could you get back into that?
With my record, no.
What did you
it's not assault on anybody, it's just drugs. Felony. Back then, I wasn't into the shit that I am in now. I was totally against it. I think being stuck here kind of shows me like what I really want to do. It's something that I really want to do is kind of like get us out of the gutter that we're all in and why people judge us. And that's kind of basically being all either addicts or recovering addicts. It's like I can't do anything about it because I got this wall that's in front of me, which I talk about that wall right here, that there's a barrier in front of me where I think it's basically keeping me from it, but that's only, again, by choice.
How do you get your heroin?
Oh man, that's all over.
Hustle on top of hustle.
We're the middleman. I'm the middleman.
Basically.
Somebody else wants it large amounts sometimes.
If tomorrow you said, okay, enough of this tent stuff,
I say it every fucking day.
Do you know what the steps are to get back to a life you'd want to live?
Yes. But the possibilities of it, no.
You could go to a treatment facility and you could...
And that's when the mental part comes in. Because I've dealt with treatment, I've dealt with lockdowns, and I don't like it at all. And that traumatized me.
So what's your hope to get clean? Do you have a plan, or are you just thinking I'll just have to quit on my own?
Getting that call, and that call is not a wake-up call. It's more or less like you have an open, coming right now.
I waited a month and a half for my appointment.
Yeah.
And when my appointment did come, after a month and a half,
forgot about it.
I forgot and I missed it.
And that's kind of like the hard part is getting up in the morning. That's the addiction. Is getting up in the morning, finding my fix first, and then going. The clinic's just right over there. Actually, I think this is more or less my wake-up call right here, too. Because if I keep continuing to use, well, this is as good as it's going to get now.
Do you think you have a quote-unquote strong ability or even a talent, an unfortunate talent, to be able to kind of block out responsibility and just say, this immediate high is going to be all right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I go do this, then I got to worry about that. And then I got to worry about that if I take care of that. And that's kind of like the thing with my housing now is, yeah, I'm getting accepted, but now I'm scared because they're talking about taking all my fucking income. That's why I'm out here now, because I didn't want to do that. So it's like now you're telling me if I sober up and I'm gonna be broke and unhappy. Who wants to live that lifestyle?
Would you at least get your kids back?
I would, but it's like, how am I gonna provide for them?
Exactly.
How long have you been away from your children?
Now 2 months. 3, might as well say 6 months.
How old are your children?
They range from 3 to 9.
6 kids in there?
Yep.
Twins?
Yes.
Do you feel an overwhelming sense of guilt or shame?
Yes.
We need a house. We need a home. Then our lives can change again, and we can go better. We can get out of here. We can get off this and get off that.
But yeah, I want to be able to provide for my kids.
So all our answers and all our prayers will end at this wall and begin on the other side. As soon as we get our place.
What?
As soon as I can put that welcome mat in front of the door.
Then what?
A lot will change.
I don't even want to have this conversation with you. You know you can do it, and I don't know why you don't. No, I don't disagree. It's just if you think that way, why don't you shoot for it? And then after that, well, I can't because my income and this and whatever else. Why you can't? And why you don't? Why you won't? I figure the man's supposed to basically take care of you, as in you putting the roof over your head, providing for you. Mm-hmm. But a woman's job is you're supposed to take care of it, so your man can continue to do everything. Need a fix?
Single-digit wind chills and blowing snow. The elements are stacking up against people who only have a thin layer of nylon separating them from the cold.
You guys need hand warmers in there? There you go. Yes? You know what? I think gloves on the table. Here. Yeah. If you want to dig through this bag, there's another one on the table. There's knit mittens and there you go. Sorry about that. Mittens are cold out here.
How do you sleep here at night when it's below freezing?
Oh, you gotta try to keep warm by the fire and stuff.
So do you have a fire in your tent?
No.
So at night you just bundle up?
Yeah. Make a blanket as much as you can. Yeah.
He's a heater though, but we're out of propane. We can't even.
Mm-hmm.
We can't get enough propane.
I got like 3 pairs of wool socks on. I'm tired. I'm hungry.
Starting to get cold.
Starting to get cold. Everything's getting wet, and I gotta figure out how I'm gonna do my tent and stuff, and that's gonna be a job. It's like I'm kind of concerned because, are we really gonna survive out here? I don't want to stay dressed like this all goddamn day inside of a tent. When you're at home, you're supposed to be, comfortable and in your comfy clothes and chilling and relaxing. And around here, it's you gotta worry about the heat. You gotta worry about, if anything's open.
It sounds like you're settling down here, and this is going to be something you're in for a little while. Are you preparing for that?
I don't want to look at it that way, but I do want to be prepared for the worst.
When we first met, you were in talks about getting a place, and then later in the fall, you said you were qualified for an apartment. What happened to that?
If I take that place, depending on how I go. If I go tomorrow, I'm not going to be ready for that place because I got shit that I'm still struggling with that's going to make me end up right back here. And one of it is to do with my addiction. If I didn't have an addiction, I could live off that $96, and they give you a benefit weekly, like basically allowance for shopping needs, like food expenses and stuff like that.
Are you worried your addiction might harm you though, if you keep it up?
Very much. I worry about that every day. I take that line. I worry about that every day when I go to sleep and take that line. Where I take the line and I just go to sleep. Sometimes I worry about if I'm gonna wake up.
Facing all these reasons why you should quit, what's keeping you from doing so?
Basically,
I don't want to face reality.
yeah.
I'm not ready for it. The only reason why I'm not ready for it is because I don't have the tools to have me prepared for it. Not only that, I need a lot of encouragement. It's like if I don't have anybody encouraging me, then what's the sense of they don't care, I don't care. They don't care, I'm not gonna care.
Have you been in touch with your kids lately?
My twins, yes. My other ones, not so much, which kills me, but I do think about them every day. And I think what makes me go on and live another day is because I still got them. And I'm sure they're, the only ones that are thinking about me and wondering how I'm doing and what I'm doing, and the only ones I got in my life still.
Do you feel defeated?
With the drugs, yeah.
Basically, I know what needs to be done. And like she said, I should have did this a long time ago. Before I got this far. I basically don't like myself when I'm sober.
I do. Isn't that important? Your kids do. Isn't that important?
Yeah.
How many people in this camp do you think are in a similar situation where it's difficulty dealing with reality and sobriety that ultimately has them here?
90%.
95.
Well, assuming they build across the street and have it ready before Christmas, will you move there?
No. Because when I came to this wall, I kind of had like a big old thing where I had a plan for this wall. And everybody that ended up on this wall, this is where everything stopped of the reason why you're at this wall. Addictions, evictions, your criminal life, everything. This is where it all stops.
Hennepin County Health Services staffs the camp daily to offer health care, addiction medication, and shelter. So far, they have relocated 18 families to shelters. 3 other families and 17 adults were moved to supportive housing.
Marjorie Garcia is one of 16 people Avivo and Red Lake Nation have gotten out of a tent and into a home.
And Reg tells us that 6 more people have been approved and will be moved from the homeless encampment in the next few days.
So does it continue to be a waiting game?
Yeah, I haven't had anybody trying to help me. I've been out here since 2006.
Let me see, I can probably point out right here by just looking around the street. I can point out like 5 people that have $1,000 a month that can get their own crib. But they can't get it. Felonies, drugs, evictions, evacuations, situations.
I've got a job, I still can't get a report.
What have you done previous winters?
Train, bus, elevator.
What about shelters?
Yeah, those are probably just as bad as being on the streets.
Even though they're warm?
Well, that doesn't matter if you're fighting and getting your stuff stolen from you and everything you're carrying on your back is all you have.
I'm staying at my auntie's place.
Oh, okay, so you have a place to stay.
Yeah.
But are you staying here in the meantime?
Yeah.
How long have you been here?
Since September.
Why have you been here if you could have stayed with your aunt?
My mom.
Huh?
Stay with my mom.
I really don't even know what home is.
What about growing up when you were a young boy?
It was multiple homes. It was foster homes. It was stuff like that, you know. So home was never really a real statement to me, you know.
Yeah.
There was nothing that I could call home.
I got into an argument, lost the gig, and I'm trying to kiss her ass because I want to go back to that kind of lifestyle, which was the good lifestyle, but it took me some time because she said I had to get sober and stuff. Well, she took me by the hand, but she just kind of let go, but tossed me the rope. And with that rope, she didn't leave me no damn life jacket, I feel. And now, everything I busted my ass for is all gone down the drain. I wasn't rewarded. I couldn't even get lunch. All we get is bologna around his mug when I do work.
What were you working for?
She was gonna get us all out of here.
Well, how was she gonna get you housing? I thought the city was getting you housing across the street.
That isn't. That's limited. It's tiny little houses, and they're gonna be a little. What is that? I don't even know what's really about.
Yeah, what I heard, what it is like a big old building with 150 fucking bunk beds, where
That's
everybody's
what I'm
gonna be in one big room. I can't have that.
Exactly, and that's why we're out here now. Is because we don't want to deal with that.
Exactly.
She said she was going to get us home. We haven't seen her since that day we voted for her. So that was my first F up and my first
She
mess
just
up.
wanted us to get her in there for
And she didn't want me to talk to nobody else because she's going to do everything.
Took us over there, fed us, promised us Section 8 housing for us, each an individual of us. You know, 13 of us.
Hang in there, honey.
And nothing.
We want to go home. Beyond this wall, we're supposed to go home. My vision is home. But us as Native American people, I think we earn our things. And not only that, it becomes a blessing. We regroup because I haven't seen my team members in a long time because I just kind of like fell back because I felt like I failed them. And I couldn't face that because I have a hard time with dealing with that, just like with my kids. Like, I don't know. I feel like I wasted my fucking time with her. And there's another month on down the damn drain. And she promised me everything, but I still ain't seen my kids. But she was like, "What do you need right now?" I'm like, "I'm gonna keep it real with you. I need to get sober. But what do I need to do? Take me to the appointment. Go, give me like." I can't go early in the morning. I can't do that. No. I gotta go like when I'm ready and when I say like I know things don't happen like that, but it's just right down the street. When I'm ready, I'm gonna walk down there and get in there and I'll show you that I can sober up. The whole thing that's going on right now is getting out of control. People are dying, people are getting beaten, women are getting lured in, and it's just that's not cool. And that's not what I wanted for the wall. The wall was never supposed to turn out like this.
Less than 2 hours ago, a fire started and spread to multiple tents.
This could have been a lot worse. Fortunately, nobody was hurt, but here's what it looked like. People living here told us they heard an explosion.
The fire department says an unattended propane heater caused that fire.
The mayor says that this temporary safe shelter site here on Cedar Avenue will be up and running by early to mid-December, and we saw some crews on scene prepping the site here today, but that's still a couple of weeks away. When it opens, the Navigation Center will provide 120 beds inside heated tents. Until then, firefighters continue to patrol and inspect the homeless encampment, and the fire chief has been on scene teaching fire safety. The mayor says there are immediate openings at other shelters in the city right now if people want to use them before the Navigation Center opens.
You know, it's just the barriers. It's the addiction. No one wants to leave. You know, it's getting colder, so we hope they leave. You know, the scope of it is to get all these people somewhere. So we try to get these people invested in their lives because we understand, you know, from being where they're at to where I am today, it takes a person to be motivated for change, to want to do better. You know, this is not a life that I wish upon anybody. This is hard out here.
Yeah, obviously.
This is rock bottom.
Well, I don't think they're gonna.
How many times have you been out here and you've seen the cops up here?
You'd like them here more?
Yeah, we always tell them they're welcome. Every time we want it. You know, we don't want to be the bad person out here. We don't want to divide our people. But somebody has to stand up and protect these people, you know.
Ross, we're gonna clean this up, I guess. They're gonna bring in a dumpster, get this cleaned up.
Right, yeah.
Okay?
Hey, what's going on with
Yeah.
a lot of the drug information, a lot of drug trafficking that's going on around here?
Yeah, we're working on this first. We're gonna work on all the problems. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we do what we can. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we do what we can.
James knows that we try to do what we can, right?
Well, what I'm saying is,
yeah,
we got our homeless advocate here. Help me, they don't want help out here.
No, we want to help everybody. That's what we do. We help people.
Don't want help.
We do help people.
That's his informants there.
Anyway, we're gonna roll through this. We're gonna get this cleaned up. James,
got
get
my
that?
speed dial, yeah. All right, thanks for all your help.
Steer in here, so we're gonna have to move some people back.
Yeah.
You
Thanks for all
understand?
your help,
Okay.
Snyder.
What's going on?
What's going on? There ain't nothing going on. You guys ain't doing your job. That's what's going on.
You're doing our job.
Yeah, man. That's what's going on. That's what's going on. Get these drug dealers out of here. Quit focusing on the help.
I agree. I don't like them.
All the help. That's what's keeping our people down, yeah? Now focus on that help. Don't focus on these people that don't want help.
Are you just gonna control? How about that stuff? Can we move that stuff out of the way?
It's the power of the people coming here, shaking our hands, giving us a hug, telling us that we mean something.
Do you think people here are receptive to that, or are they hardened?
A lot of us are hardened, but we're receptive. A lot of us have lost our parents, lost family members. Somebody coming down and saying hi.
Yeah.
Giving us a hug. Don't drive by and honk.
Right.
Stop.
Donate stuff your way.
Stop and say hi.
Yeah.
You know?
Today is the first day a new warming tent is available for the people still living at that large homeless camp off Hiawatha in Minneapolis.
The tents offer a rare chance to warm up, eat a warm meal, and maybe find warm boots or a coat.
Are you hopeful that the structures across the street they're building will be a good start?
No, just another way to hoard us and get us out of the way.
I feel like being in a confined place. That's what it's going to be, a confined place.
Right.
A lot of people, eventually they're going to fight and argue.
No, I'm going to stay here.
Do you plan on getting, or do you hope to get a home some other way then?
A home?
Yeah.
You know what, I did that.
If they come through and make people leave, even people who don't want to leave, do you think there'll be resistance?
Yes.
That's kind of it for now, huh? Hopefully you'll get on the Suboxone tomorrow.
Yeah.
And Earl's detained.
Hopefully, yep. And he gets transferred.
You said something earlier about you going to jail. What was that about? Was that a joke?
Yeah. I shouldn't even be joking around with that. I don't want to go to jail. I love my freedom. But if I don't get it with this program, but I give myself credit. I did it today. Try it anyway.
Tried what?
Walk down there and get an appointment in.
That's hard for you to do. Even that?
Pretty much.
Why?
But I did it. But I did it.
Is it the mental block of seeking treatment, or is it the actual physical act of doing it that's hard?
Probably the mental block.
Because part of you hesitates to get clean?
No? Yeah?
Breaking news that happened overnight, a fire at the Hiawatha homeless camp in Minneapolis, the second in just 10 days. This is video at the scene just hours ago.
Well, fortunately, no one got hurt, but we have learned that 6 tents there were destroyed. And now there is this flat, charred area where the tents once stood.
Well, I got a mix of opinions from people I talked to from the camp today. Some say they're glad it's going away because they don't think it's safe anymore. Others say they plan to stay put.
Red Lake and Hennepin County have helped 140 people to move from the tent camp to permanent housing. It's unclear how many remain at the camp, but we're told there is room for everyone at the Navigation Center if they choose to come. Tribal leaders do not want to force anyone to go, but they cannot stay at the camp.
Look at the lake.
Yeah, I guess they're gonna be moving 10 people over there today.
10?
Yeah, so we got up and got out here about 9 o'clock to try to help them people, you know, get their belongings together.
You know, I'll let some people know there's a brand new mattress in box spring, bed frame, everything. Okay.
Try to get them, you know, into that transition over to the Navigation Center, you know.
Well, do you think there'll be 120 people here who want to go across the highway? Most people I talk to don't want to.
Yeah, that's the same thing I hear, so it's a big question.
Well, we figure it's 50%. You know, we're hoping for all of them to say, hey, let me just give it a try. It's getting too cold out here, right?
We don't know until they start filling it up, you know. Maybe that first 10 will say, yeah, it's all right over here, you know, it's all right over here. And then come talk to these people, get them, you know, get them in that focus, in that direction where they want to go, try to take advantage of some of the stuff out there. I don't ever want to lose my place. I just, that's a sense of relief to just, you know, you have somewhere to go instead of just being out here wondering where you're going to go shower at, where you're going to go eat it, when the next meal's coming through.
We were here in the beginning, before all of this started.
Before we eat it, and it's not Tent City, it's the wall. I always try to clarify that.
So what's happened the past couple of weeks? I was away all last week.
A few things.
Like what?
Separation. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to be a sucker to freaking, you know, sit up here and let him do this to me. Let me see.
Is he still in jail?
No, he's right over there, actually.
How do you get out?
Good question. It hurts. I mean, every time I think about it, it hurts. But we gotta move on, one way or another.
Come on, I'm just kidding.
And it's kind of like with the wall, too, you know? You gotta move on. You know, you can't stay here forever.
Any last words about checking in on this day about your life now and what the future holds?
I'm glad I'm making it out alive. And look at me now. Beautiful.
It could be the beginning of the end for the homeless camp off Hiawatha in Minneapolis.
10 people moved into that center this afternoon, and many others could follow over the next several days. The temporary shelter offers meals, addiction treatment, and health care. The people who do move to the Navigation Center will be able to work with nonprofits to find long-term housing. This shelter will stay open until May, and then after that, the Red Lake Nation plans to replace the Navigation Center with an affordable housing project, which speaks to the long-term goals that they have there at that shelter.
So what, you guys give up too?
No.
They didn't give up.
Oh, they're going to clear it anyways. Who's going to stand? Right? I'm going to see if they have a plan for the people that ain't going, but go check it out. It might be. But you can go anytime you want to. In and out, in and out, in and out. Like there's showers, there's fucking TV room, there's
fucking hot water.
Hot water,
Christ. I would encourage you to, because eventually they are going to come through with me. You might be able to stop.
And we can stop. When we can go to jail, right? We can go to jail. That's the easy part, right? We can all stand up. We go to jail. But guess what? When you come back, there ain't gonna be nothing here. So you have to start all over, get the tents, get everything you need, right?
Pick a different spot.
In a different spot. But check it out, it's warm. It's 6 months. 6 months, and you can have your own spot.
Go give me a tour. You can hang out with us.
And then you can tell everybody how you really feel.
Yeah. Go check it out. Be the voice out here for the ones that don't want to resist them.
And if it's handed to you right then and there, you gotta jump. It's not gonna be handed to you. If you follow that path, that path that leads to, everything you want, you're gonna get it.
What's the plan?
Plan is pulling up roots and heading north. That's what I plan to do.
Back to your reservation?
Yep, sure am. If she wants to come, she can come. If not, I'm done. I'm through. I'm done playing these games. It's time to move on. Bigger and better things. I can't live like this anymore, and I'm not going to.
I heard you got stung.
Oh, plenty of times. Plenty of times, and a bunch of bullshit. And she knows it too. And undercover could be our friend,
Well, are you going to have to serve some time for that, or what?
No, because I wasn't charged. We weren't charged.
No kidding?
No, we weren't
They
charged.
just released you?
I didn't even go to jail for that. I only went in for my warrants.
Wow.
They don't want us, we're nickel and dime. What is that going to do,
Well, they're clearing this camp out, so what's your plan?
Go across the street. So I'm going to go talk to this officer right now and see what he can do to help me get my vehicle over to a place and fixed and something. But other than that, I'm ready to go.
All right, man.
All right.
Let's do it.
Yep.
Well, take care, man.
Yep.
We'll see you again.
I'll talk to you.
Okay.
Yep. A lot of us would like to become sober, but most of us here just only know this routine. I need to get back on my feet. I got a good head on my shoulders, and basically, I need to use it.
The new navigation center will be a low barrier setup. Users can come in while under the influence, but they cannot actually use while inside the fence.
We're using a housing-first approach. No, we will not have drug use on site, but we will not be turning away people and having them take a test before admittance.
I would visit the shelter throughout the spring of 2019. Just outside was daily open drug use and drug dealing. Inside, residents use heroin and other drugs openly. Overdoses occurred regularly. One overdose in February took the life of Genevieve Littlewind, and one in January took the life of Todd Weldon. This was his memorial fire at the shelter.
And then I'm going to get deeply involved in the community, starting a boxing organization, Discipline. It's going to be called Thunder of the Red Nations.
Earl would join Kat at the shelter. For one evening in the spring, they finally visited 2 of their 6 children. The navigation shelter closed on June 3rd. Most shelter residents had moved on to housing, but several, including Kat and Earl, did not. This is representative of the growing homeless problem across the state and nation. In 2018, the homeless recorded in Minnesota reached an all-time high of over 10,000. This is triple what was recorded in 1991. Six months since last seeing him, Earl was found unresponsive on a Minneapolis street in the middle of the afternoon. Earl is the 4th person from this film to have died. He was the first person I met back at the camp, and he would share his life as a story from which others can learn and take action.